topic that we are going to discuss here is profit and loss. First, we are going to see the important formulas. So, we have the important formulas of this topic, profit and loss. So, here before we are going to see the problems, we should know two important terms. One is the cost price and another one is the selling price. So, here the cost price is nothing but the price at which an article is purchased, and the selling price is nothing but the price at which an article is sold. So, here this cost price is denoted by CP and this selling price is denoted as SP. So, here listen, whenever this SP is greater than CP, that is, if the price at which an article is sold is greater than the price at which an article is purchased, then there will be a profit or gain. Suppose if the CP is greater than the SP, then there will be a loss. So, according to the values of SP and CP only, we can conclude whether there is a profit or there is a loss. So, now we are going to see the formulas. So, here listen, to find the gain or profit, what we have to do is we have to subtract the cost price from selling price, because we know that profit occurs only if SP is greater than CP. So, therefore, we have to subtract the smaller one from the larger one. Similarly, loss will be equal to what? CP minus SP, because we know that if CP is greater than SP, then only we can say that there will be a loss. So, therefore, if we want to find the loss, then we have to subtract SP from CP. And listen, the loss or gain is always calculated on CP. That is, the loss percentage or gain percentage are always calculated on CP, because based on cost price only we can always find whether there is a gain or there is a loss. So, therefore, the loss percentage or gain percentage is always calculated on the cost price. So, now we have seen two formulas. One is for finding profit and another one is for finding loss. Now, we are going to see two more formulas which are very useful to find the profit percentage and the loss percentage. So, here we know that loss percentage as well as the gain percentage are always calculated on CP. So, therefore, this profit percentage will be equal to profit by CP into 100, because we need the percentage, that is why we are multiplying this by 100. So, here we have profit by CP into 100. Here we know that the profit will be equal to SP minus CP. So, we get SP minus CP divided by CP into 100 as the formula for finding profit percentage. And now we are going to see the formula for finding loss percentage. So, this loss percentage will be equal to what? Here this will be equal to loss by CP into 100. Here the formula for finding loss is CP minus SP. So, instead of loss, we substituted CP minus SP. So, CP minus SP divided by CP into 100 is the formula for finding loss percentage. And now we have formulas for finding SP and CP in the case of profit as well as in the case of gain. So, here listen, this is in the case of gain or profit. So, in the case of gain or profit, the SP will be equal to 100 plus gain percent divided by 100 into CP, as well as CP will be equal to 100 by 100 plus gain percentage into SP. So, whenever we have profit or gain, then to find the SP we have to use this formula, and to find the CP we have to use this formula. Here listen, again and again we should remember that this is only in the case of gain or profit. And now when in the case of loss, then SP will be equal to 100 minus loss percentage by 100 into CP, and CP is equal to 100 by 100 minus loss percentage into SP. So, this is in the case of loss. To find SP we have to use this formula, and to find CP we have to use this formula. So, now we have the next one. If an article is sold at a gain of 20%, then SP will be equal to 120% of CP, because we have gain of 20%. So, with usual 100% we have to add this 20%, then we will get 120%. So, the SP will be equal to 120% of the cost price. Suppose if an article is sold at a loss of 20%, then what we have to do? From the total 100% we have to subtract this 20%. So, 100 minus 20, 80. So, SP will be equal to 80% of the cost price. So, by using the gain percentage only, we are writing the formulas for finding SP here. And now the 14th formula is here. If a person sells two items at the same price, one at a gain of X% and another at a loss of X%, then the seller always incurs a loss expressed as loss percentage is equal to common loss and gain percent divided by 10 whole square. So, here if we take this common loss and gain percentage as X, then we will get X by 10 the whole square. Here listen, The person sells two items at the same price, but here listen, one is at the gain of x% and another one is at the loss of x%. Then the seller always incurs a loss, and that loss percent will be equal to this x by 10 the whole square, where this x is common loss and gain percent. And now we have the 15th formula. If a trader professes to sell his goods at cost price but uses false weights, then gain percent is equal to error by true value minus error into 100 percentage. Here listen, the trader professes to sell his goods at cost price but uses false weights. So in these type of cases, gain percent will be equal to the error divided by true value minus error into 100%. So these are the important formulas of this topic, profit and loss. Now we are going to see some solved examples regarding profit and loss. The first question is, John buys an old scooter for rupees 4,700 and spends rupees 800 on its repairs. If he sells the scooter for rupees 5,800, what is his gain percent? Here listen, John buys an old scooter for 4,700 rupees and he spent rupees 800 on its repairs. So therefore what will be the cost price of the scooter? So therefore the cost price of the scooter will be equal to this 4,700 rupees plus this 800. So now this will be equal to what? If we add these two values, then we will get 5,500. That is, this is what the cost price of the scooter. And now what is the selling price of the scooter? The selling price of the scooter is rupees 5,800. So now listen, the cost price is 5,500 and the selling price is 5,800. So therefore here the selling price is greater than the cost price. So therefore there will be a profit. So profit is same as gain, isn't it? So therefore what will be the gain? So therefore gain will be equal to the selling price minus cost price. Selling price is 5,800 rupees. Cost price is 5,500 rupees, and if we subtract these two, then we will get 300 rupees as the gain. So now listen, we have to find out the gain percent. So what is the formula for find the profit percent? The formula will be equal to what? It will be equal to the profit or gain divided by the cost price into 100. So here the profit is 300 divided by the cost price is 5,500 into 100. Now if we cancel these two values, we get 300 by 55. So now what we are going to do is we are going to divide this 300 by 55. So we know that 5 into 55 will be equal to 275. So hence what will be the remainder? Hence the remainder will be equal to 25. So therefore we get the gain percent is equal to this 300 divided by 55%, and this will be equal to what? Now listen, if we divide this 300 by 55, we get the quotient as 5 and the remainder as 25 and the dividend as 5 and the dividend as 55. So now we get this 525 by 11, and now what we are going to do is we are going to again cancel these two values. So 5 into 5 25, 11 into 5 55. So hence the gain percent will be equal to what? 5 by 11%. So hence out of these four options, option D 5 by 11% is the correct answer.